Welcome to Pub Talk, the unofficial official craft beer podcast of Oklahoma, where we're all about the three B's, beer buddies, and bullshit. I'm Michael, and with me as always is a man who enjoys this time of year because it's perfectly normal to drink a green beer. Jeremy?
Hey, yo.
If you like what you hear today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button wherever you're listening to us right now, and show us some love on social media at Pub Talk Podcast. All right, let's get in the first round.
You know, they brew 10,000 bottles of beer a day. I drink 45 off the assembly line, and I'm the asshole.
Woo! Finally. I'm halfway through a beer.
I don't know if this is evening. It's later in the day, afternoon.
5:15-ish, so good enough. It's evening for old fucks like me, I'll say that.
What do you got? What are you drinking?
Well, I am drinking, and actually I'm about to pour more, but I'll do that after I talk about it. I'm drinking a beer that's actually, it's a collaborative beer, or as old Pub Talk would have called it, a dick baby beer. Between Nothing's Left Brewing here in Tulsa and Wichita Brewing Company in Wichita, Kansas, obviously. It's marshmallow. It's a stout with marshmallows, coconut, and coffee. Nothing's Left released it, I think, 2 weekends ago now. Yeah. Here's the can for the people that are watching the video.
This whole time, I didn't realize that was called marshmallow. I've literally just been thinking marshmallow every time I look at it.
Oh. Well, mash like a beer.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That makes more sense. That's not creative. And then I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Oh, and it is, let's see, it's 13% alcohol by volume. And the fact that I'm about to open a second one of these tells you what kind of day I've had at 5:15.
Damn.
And I should probably also point out on the video, drinking out of my Vortex glass because Ponca City is between Wichita and Tulsa.
Hey, there you go. There's a reason.
It's also because it holds the entire 16 ounces. Yeah, I like this beer a lot. I had at least one pour in the tap room. I feel like I might have had two, but I had a few beers that day. And then I brought a 4-pack home as well. And if they have more the next time I go, I will probably buy another 4-pack. I've enjoyed this one quite a bit. I get a ton of coconut. I get some coffee and some marshmallow. And then the ratio changes a little bit as it warms up and stuff. Really fucking good. And I like seeing, and I realize they're not local to Oklahoma or to Tulsa, but I like seeing a collaborative beer between what I would call relatively local breweries, within driving distance anyway. Yeah, it's easily above a 4 for me. I'll say it's a 4. 4.16.
Right on. Yeah, I'm really wanting to try that one. Fuck.
So then the question is, what are you drinking?
I am drinking something much, much lower ABV.
Wow.
You
can't all be heroes.
Right? Attempt to cook dinner here in a minute, and if I popped open one of those stouts I have, it probably wouldn't turn out very well. It might.
I got to cook dinner. We'll see what happens.
I've also had a bunch of stouts lately, and I'm trying to tone it back a little bit. So I am having a beer that we've had on the show, I know before, probably multiple times over the years. It is from the good folks at Marshall Brewing. It's their Arrowhead Pale Ale.
Nice.
5.2 ABV. I already said it. Pale Ale. Not a lot to say about it. It's fucking good. I looked it up just to see what my ratings have been over the years. They're all around a 4, which I fucking figured. It's just a super easy drinking beer.
Yeah.
In their description, it says it's good summertime beer, which it fucking is. But it's also a good right now beer. Been picking up beer from them lately anyway, but with what happened, which we'll talk about here in a minute, probably. Probably, but we will. It's one of those that I typically pick up from them just because it's such a good, easy drinker.
Yeah,
Which
that's probably my favorite non-dark beer from them.
Yeah, most of their beer is really good, just easy drinking beer.
Mhm.
I'm also drinking it in a glass in anticipation for a movie coming out in a few days.
Oh,
It actually looks good. I'm surprised. Coming to America 2, or Coming to America. Can't wait to see that. I hope it doesn't suck.
well,
Coming direct.
history's probably not in its favor on comedy sequels, but
Right. At least it's coming straight home, and I don't have to go somewhere to watch it.
yeah, it's not really an option anyway right now in most places.
Rent the whole theater out.
Oh, right. My bad.
Man, I've contemplated that a few times.
I did, but around Christmas I did, but it's like, I can wear my pajamas here.
Right. It's just as good an experience. I don't need it to be fucking massive. It would be nice just to weird to see a movie like in a theater. Well, I guess I've seen one by myself before.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like
Yeah.
a big movie like this. And just knowing that it's only mine and no one else can walk in. Because it's nothing like watching a movie and thinking you have the whole theater to yourself, and then people start coming and you're like, you son of a bitch.
Right. How dare you? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It would probably take a really big release, like a Star Wars type release, for me to actually pull the trigger on something like that. And I wouldn't be the only one with that thought. So
I bet a bunch of those, they skyrocket the fucking prices because a lot of the ones you can get for those where you rent the theater out, a lot of them aren't. They're old ass movies.
Right. Yeah, and I had contemplated that around Christmas because you could rent the whole theater and bring your family in or whatever and still stay far enough apart to be safe, but watch a Christmas movie, Home Alone or some shit. But I just never did it because it was just kind of like, meh.
So yeah, there's been actually quite a bit that's happened since we recorded right when the snow first started falling. We're like, it's gonna get colder.
Right.
And it did. It went fucking ape shit with all the snow. My fucking heater went out, which was
shit.
Fucking cool. Yeah, 2 days because nobody could get to my house because the fucking streets were so bad.
Oh,
like,
man.
The interior street. So I was making a lot of fires. I'm so glad I bought a shitload of that stuff right before all that happened. So I had firewood for days. And then they when they came to fix it, they got it working pretty quick. But for a couple of days there, I was like, man, this fucking sucks. I should have wished for all this snow. Even Amelia, she was like, because she had been dying to go out there and play in it. She went out that one of the first days after that it came down like crazy, and she was out there for like 2 minutes. She was like, "I think if you want to go back inside, yes, I do." And she went back in. Normally, it's a fucking fight to try to get her to come back in.
It was 30 degrees colder than it usually is.
Yeah, like instantly face just red. It's like, we can't do this. It's like a scene out of whatever that fucking Christmas movie was. I was putting layer upon layer upon layer on her to where it like barely fucking move when she went outside and kind of just threw her into the fucking snow, which probably didn't help the cold factor. But what you do is, I guess. But yeah, it was fucking wild. Had to use space heaters, but I wasn't a fucking idiot and walked away from them and left them there. Like I think happened in our town too. I don't know if they were an idiot. I don't know the person. I'm sorry. But
it's hard to talk about without using the word idiot or dumbass or
learn with space heaters. You don't leave those fucking things, man. Like I'm so paranoid anytime I've used one in the past, I'll hop up in the middle of the night to go look to make sure everything's okay. I'm like, we'll use it because like the cat, the dog, they love fucking laying in front of them. But I would never leave it.
Yeah.
Because your top shit will burn down if that happens. And guess what? That's what happens.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, I don't know how you don't know what we're talking about. That means you don't follow any beer accounts on social media, including ours, which you should, at Pub Talk Podcast. But a couple of weeks ago, that week that we had all the snow, there was a fire in the building right next door to the tap room at Marshall Brewing. Apparently it was some sort of paper supply company, office supply, a lot of paper in there. Guy was using space heaters to try to warm up his pipes, left the place unattended, and fire happened, as you're taught basically from grade school. Fire was so bad it completely destroyed that building, and it did not technically spread to Marshall, but they had to knock some of the taproom wall out to fight the fire, ventilate some stuff, and there was quite a bit of smoke and water damage in the taproom. Production facility was fine. Thankfully, no one was there that day because it was fucking horrible weather and everyone had stayed home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know my reaction when I first found out from one of my news apps pushed me an alert, said Marshall was on fire, said the Marshall Brewing was on fire, and I freaked the fuck out. But luckily it turned out not to be their actual building. And yeah, just craziness. We don't need any more crazy beer stories or crazy period. Like, I don't know. It's just
those pictures were wild too. Like the fucking icicles on the firefighters while they're spraying the water and shit. It's like,
yeah, because it was single digits, if not lower.
Yeah.
The wind chill was definitely lower while that was all going on. And I mean, Marshall has been posting it a million times, but I'll say it here too. Like, man, shout out to the Tulsa Fire Department, because that could have been a lot worse.
For sure.
And kudos to them for doing their job in that weather, because fuck,
yeah,
I could barely go get the mail.
Right. That's why every time I was thinking, seeing those pictures, I'm like, man, good fucking job. Because fuck that. That's gotta hurt. How fucking cold it was.
But yeah, Marshall, obviously the tap room's unusable until they can get it repaired, but I haven't seen a timeline on that. But they're doing a curbside situation, online orders only, from their old tap room, which is now the production facility, next door to where their current tap room is, however you want to phrase that. So support those guys. They're awesome. Everybody that works there is awesome, and they make great beer, and show them some love. They've gotten a lot of love, don't get me wrong, for the last couple of weeks with all this, but buy their beer and enjoy it.
It's so easy to buy their beer too. I mean, that process is so fucking simple. Their website's the best one in fucking town. You just get on there, buy your beer. I picked them up right after that shit happened, and it's so fucking quick. Kyle just pulled in the parking spot. Didn't even get a chance to pull out my phone to look to see what the fuck I need to do next, because Kyle's already outside with the fucking beer. Because when you buy it, put him in this color, your car description or whatever. Super smooth, easy process. And you're getting to support them.
Yeah,
awesome.
And you get to drink good beer.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I like a lot of it. So easy to drink. So it's just like, just drink another one.
Yeah, I noticed they're doing a mixed case, basically, with 2 cans of everything. I got to do that in the next week or so, because that sounds fucking awesome. I don't need to drink all that, but I will.
You got to do what you got to do. Support.
Hey, support local.
Boom.
And good people. I mean,
That's that. The initial reaction to that is just like, oh my god, no fucking no. That fucking Michael Scott meme from The Office. Like, no.
Which is appropriate because it was a paper company or an office supply company anyway. I had that thought, actually. I was like, this feels like something from The Office. It's next door to a beer place. Oh my god, save the beer,
Michael Scott's dumbass setting up a bunch of fucking space heaters and
Yeah.
paper. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then I guess you've got Eric Marshall playing the part of Jim, who's just like, well, apparently some space heaters were set out. Who would have thought? Which is also always weird. And I've had this moment quite a few times whenever they interview people from some of the local breweries on the news. It's always weird seeing somebody on the news that like we've had on the show that I feel like I know fairly well and stuff. And he and I think maybe Wes were quoted in some news articles. And if it wasn't this time, I've definitely seen Wes on the news before. It's just always kind of takes me back a little bit. I'm like, oh, hey, I know him.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, go support them even more. What else has happened? It's been quite a bit.
Yeah, that was the one that I was like, man, and it was also, I mean, it was also that moment of where it's like, hey, y'all that thought 2021 was going to be like the titties compared to 2020, wrong.
Yeah, right. This fucking year has been a goddamn. What has been going on? And speaking of that, we did just get to celebrate an anniversary in Tulsa. I think yesterday, 1 year anniversary of our first COVID case.
Woo!
Exciting times. So we're looking back at this time last year, like the run of shows we were doing, and about to jump into St. Patrick's Day, but in the back of your mind, like, wonder what's going on with that COVID. That doesn't seem, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose, like literally out of nowhere.
Well, I remember this time last year. I guess it was like the 14th or so, somewhere in that ballpark, was Shamrock the Rose that I had written the cover article for Craft Magazine for that event. And so definitely needed to be there. And we were giving away shirts and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the vibe at that fucking thing was like, everyone's just looking at each other like, are you going to fucking touch me? Well, it's just, it was weird. And I think that was the last thing I did for months. And that's almost a year ago. Just
fucking
2 weeks or so. Yeah.
Fucking insane.
I think our episode with Expedenture was our last spotlight episode for a few months. And the anniversary of that's like this week. It's just weird. It's weird what a year it's been. And, I guess we should throw out too, as long as we're talking about anniversaries, we are traveling down to Oklahoma City to do our first in-person spotlight episode in a few months this coming weekend with Core 4 down in Oklahoma City. And their 1 year anniversary is the reason we're going down there to do a podcast to coincide with that, because we announced their grand opening this time last year. I can't wait for that. We've been down. Well, I've been down twice. I think you went with me one of those 2 times. They're making killer beer down there, and anyone that hasn't hit them up yet, I don't know what the fuck you're waiting on. But I'm excited to get back to it.
I wonder if they've had any other like holy shit moments since we recorded with them.
Holy shit, COVID.
So what else has been going on?
The Cape Brewing in Jinx just did their soft opening this past weekend. I have not been, but I know a few people that have. That said it was pretty nice, decent beer, and I guess it's in a strip mall, which is a little weird, but taproom's very nice, and basically everything I heard was definitely go check it out. So I plan to do that in the next couple of weeks. Just didn't have time this weekend.
Yeah, it looks pretty like wide open. Like it looks like a wide open space.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of I've seen a lot of people post about going there. I was looking up pretty soon, and then I think I saw Beer Garden or something post about it too. About checking out the place. Do you know who the fucking Holy Moses Brewing is?
I do not.
That's what lately? No.
I saw it pop up somewhere in some beer group, and I went and liked the page, but I that's all I really remember about it. I probably had a couple beers when I liked it.
Yeah, they've started getting pretty active on at least Instagram and Facebook. I'm curious to see where that goes. It's weird to think about people opening up places during what the fuck's been happening, but stuff's starting to get better. Vaccines rolling out and shit. Can't wait.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, I just saw something that said Biden says by May there'll be enough vaccine for all Americans that want one. So
Really?
Yeah.
Because I haven't paid attention to, like, I guess they say they're supposed to tell you when your phase is ready or whatever, what you do.
Yeah, I know several people that have had both doses, and a couple people that have had one and are waiting on their second and so forth. And I don't know. I'm eager to get mine and get a little ways down the road, and maybe we can get back to beer festivals and other large gatherings.
For fucking sure. Speaking of beer festivals, throw these out. There's like been a couple virtual beer festivals that are coming up. Untapped has been like pushing those.
Yeah.
Like, they had one last year, but they've been pushing a couple over the past couple of weeks that I didn't know about. There's a 421, which I actually bought a ticket to because the beer
Nice.
sounded interesting. And I'm just a bunch of dank IPAs, but there was a couple of like stouts that looked fucking delicious. There's just a mixture of just a bunch of shit. I guess stuff that you would eat when you're high, probably.
Oh, makes sense.
I'll definitely be partaking with that festival. And then they're doing like an IPA one, but I saw like the day after. I'm like, I don't think I should buy a ticket to that too, but I might. Who fucking knows?
I might do the IPA one. I haven't pulled the trigger on any of that. They did like a Saturday morning breakfast cereal themed one too. I almost did that, but
that one, the beer didn't seem interesting to me. Like I wasn't too impressed with the beer that was with that one. And both of these they look like the beer will be good. Like I'm for breweries, around $100 or whatever for the beers. They send it. It's cool to see any place that actually sends beer to fucking Oklahoma.
That's getting more and more common now since our laws have been relaxed the last handful of years.
I wish that fucking Tavour, I don't know how the fuck you say it. Tavour. I wish they would fucking
Tavour.
Yeah. Because I always see people getting cool shit from them, but I still can't get that. But for some reason, you get other stuff. I don't understand. They say but others say it's okay.
My guess is that it's either who they use for shipping or they're just not up on laws.
That makes sense. Because forever it was just Craft Shack, but now you can there's multiple ways to get beer here if you would like.
Halftime beverage and Craft Beer Kings.
Yeah. But festivals, I miss them, and I'm gonna try to enjoy those.
Are you as worried as I am that when festivals become a thing again, that having 30 tasters of beer will just absolutely wreck you?
Oh, for sure.
I'm like, well, I need to clear 2 days for that.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, like, especially when like this shit first went down, the coronavirus and everything, the amount of beer I was drinking back then to now it's nowhere near that, but I was drinking so much back then. And yeah, even that virtual beer festival for what was that? Was that the CBAO that did one? I've done one and I was fucking feeling it by the end of that.
I was wrecked by the end of that CBAO one. But that was also, I don't mind saying on the record, it was the first 3, 4, 5 months of all this nonsense. I was drinking a lot every single fucking night. And now I'm trying to lose that weight. But hey.
Fucking beers every episode.
Yeah.
The fucking Tiger King times. There were better times, I guess. Probably not. But yeah, I can't wait to see and I don't know what the first one's gonna be. And you see people are starting to push those because there are some that are popping up like in different parts of the country, festivals you can actually go to. I saw Texas is saying fuck everything.
I saw that today.
Yeah. Whatever you fucking want in Texas. I don't know.
Yeah. They're going to probably have to roll that back pretty quickly if I were to guess, but we'll see.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
Another reason that if and when we go down there in the near future, we will go very early in the day when it's not busy. Well, I guess I will throw out, I've had a couple beer adventures since the last time we recorded. This past weekend, which was the last weekend of February, Well, I'll just admit it. I was going to go to the Stout Fire thing at Cabin Boys, but I pulled up and saw that big parking lot they have was 80-90% full at 11:15 in the morning. And I said, fuck that. And I drove up to Dewey, Oklahoma. And I went to Scissortail Brewing because I'd been wanting to check them out anyway, because they're like 40 minutes from my house. And I, had heard that the brewer there has a long history in home brewing and craft beer. And I wanted to check it out. I wanted to support that. And didn't have much excuse not to, with it being that close. So I drove up there. I just drove up there by myself on Saturday. And I enjoyed my experience there. The milk stout there is very good. That'd be my recommendation for people that head up there, especially if you do like stouts. That's always kind of my gateway, I guess, for trying a new brewery. Since I drink so many of those, it's usually between that and a pale ale that I'll kind of judge a brewery by. But I enjoyed the milk stout a lot. I talked, 20-30 minutes with the owner / brewer there. I believe his name is James, if I'm remembering right. He's been homebrewing for 25 years. He had some familiarity about the podcast, and I hope we'll be able to get him on down the road to tell his story, because it's been a multi-year journey for him. I think he said he'd had the trademark on Scissortail Brewing since like 2012.
Oh, wow.
So
I remember hearing about it for a fucking minute now.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're finally open. They've got a nice big open tap room, 8 beers on tap right now. I believe he said they're going to expand to 12 fairly soon. I would recommend checking them out. If you go that way, there's like a little triangle of breweries you can easily hit that are close to each other with them. Cooper and Mill in Bartlesville, and then Dollhouse Road in Pawhuska, which I still need to get to, but just ran out of time Saturday. But yeah, for those that like to brewery hop, which I think is most of us that drink craft beer, that just want to try everything, that's a nice. I think that's a nice little Saturday or Friday or whatever afternoon experience to hop to those 3 breweries. And if you wanted to go a little farther west, you always hit Vortex in Ponca.
Right on. Be the only reason I'd ever go to Dewey, Oklahoma.
I can't say that, but
You said you can't say that? You've been there before?
I've been there before, and we'll leave it at that.
Oh,
in my
nope.
20s.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you see speaking of small towns, Fat Toad, they post some pictures of their new place. Looks pretty cool. Can't wait to
Okay. Kind of a big brick oven for pizzas.
Yeah. Fucking awesome and delicious.
Yeah.
All those guys, their beer's awesome. Good fucking people.
So nice. Yeah.
Every time we see them, really, really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to get that. That's another place like I want to go visit there now, but I'm also kind of like, maybe I should wait until the new tap room. I don't know.
That's how I went. I hate driving anyway, but like construction and shit pisses me off, and it's a bit of a bitch in the little area there. But if you're not like me and you're not whiny, it's worth it.
It's not far from Tulsa, honestly.
It's just straight highway.
Yeah.
Easy fucking drive.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to their new tap room.
It's awesome.
Well, and I'll throw out after I went to Scissortail on Saturday, Rapture was doing a new beer release. Well, I say new. It was their second batch of Peter. It's like an 8% saison. We had Mitch on the show last April or May when the first batch came out. So he was re-releasing that. They did an event out at Prairie Creek Farms this past Saturday to re-release that, and he had a new IPA that was fucking tasty. I had several beers there. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely did get a preview of Sugarfoot Stout that he's still bottle conditioning. Yes. So that release should be out at the farm in March. So this month, I'm assuming probably at the end of the month because he said they would be monthly events. Definitely gonna have to hit that up. I really enjoy that beer. Although I did have to ask him, I said, did this always have coconut in it? I don't remember that from dark mode last. I'm gonna stop talking that it was a dark mode. But yeah,
Did they say put that beer anywhere? I'm hoping it shows up somewhere. I've been looking at like the Beer Garden's website and shit.
you're talking about Peter?
Peter, any of them.
I didn't ask, but I know he usually distributes to
I can't remember the place.
Beer Garden, Ranch Acres, and I think Collins Midtown sometimes.
Ranch Acres is the one I couldn't fucking remember.
Yeah.
That, see, I'm hoping because Beer Garden still has the threes or something like that he made.
Oh yeah.
Let's hoping to see him.
But yeah, I'd always love seeing Mitch, and congrats to him. He's having a son about a month and a half after I'm having a daughter. So as Mitch said, hey, you never know.
That's awesome.
But yeah, man, I always enjoy good time. And for those that don't know, I mean, those events are on the farm at Prairie Creek Farms, really family friendly. Plenty of space to spread out and everything like that. They sell brats and stuff too for people that want to eat something. And then Prairie Creek obviously is selling their meat and eggs and that kind of deal on site. I always really enjoy going out there, and yeah, they give farm tours. It's just a good time.
Yeah, I think Amelia would like going out there. Just don't trust my fucking car.
Well, that's where you just catch a ride with me, because my car is a fucking Jeep, and it's still. There's a couple times on those roads where I'm like, fuck.
After this last snow, I was like, that's it. We're fucking getting an SUV or something, because it was even venturing out when I was like, fuck it, I got to go somewhere in this fucking snow. Low cars fucking suck because you got to floor it. If you don't want to get fucking stuck, you got to make,
yeah.
And in my fucking street, idiots like to park in the fucking street. So it makes it a one-way thing. So if someone's trying to come, you got to stop in a little ass car.
Yeah.
So definitely need to make that move.
Yeah, I shoveled off took a snowblower to our driveway, I think on Wednesday that week.
You have a snowblower?
A little baby one, yeah.
I was just wondering, like, yeah, I got to get one because we were watching the guy across the street use one. I'm like, who the fuck owns a snowblower in Oklahoma? Apparently,
I've had that shit for years and I haven't needed it. And so, but then when you need it, it's like, oh well, my back's not broken now.
Yeah,
but I did it all the way out to the street, and then I get down to the street, and like I don't need to leave. I'm working from home, but Heather's got to go to work, and I'm like, she ain't gonna be able to get. She can get to the end of the driveway.
And that was the thing too. It's like, man, every time it snows here too, when it's like that, I always typically have just a smaller car, and I'm like, for some reason my driveways are always up a fucking hill, so I'm always like, gotta floor that bitch and hope you make it up into the driveway over the hump. And I did. I might have been crooked in the driveway, but I fucking made it back.
I've had those days when I had that little Caliber and I lived in that apartment complex that was on a hill. That shit was. I think it was 2009 on Christmas Eve when we had a really bad snowstorm.
It's so many times where I've been stuck on a hill. There was one when we all lived in South Tulsa. I got stuck on a hill down there and started sliding backwards down that bitch, or trying to turn a corner and getting stuck. So many fucking nightmares because it doesn't happen enough here. Yeah. So when it happens, it's like, well, fuck. Yeah. So you see all those news reports about, people here in Texas can't deal with the fucking snow. It's like, because it doesn't happen all the fucking time.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm the dickhead that, the room I'm recording this podcast in, which I also worked from for the last year, faces our street, and I keep the blinds open when I'm in here working. Just makes me feel a little less trapped. Yeah. And I watched multiple large trucks get stuck because they think, I got this. No, you don't.
That's even worse without the weight in the back. And if it's not a 4-wheel, you're fucked. You got to go.
And I'm absolutely the guy that just sits there and watches them try to get out instead of offering to help.
Wait, you park your Jeep in the garage, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you're like, that motherfucker's got a Jeep. Go knock on your door.
I was worried someone would come over here and be like, "Can I borrow your snowblower?" No, your mama was a snowblower. Borrow her.
Like, they're remaking that fucking movie.
Are they really? That's awesome.
Dude, this time they won't have a white guy acting like he's Indian.
There you go.
I still have that movie. People said they've watched it back and it doesn't hold up, but I think I have such an attachment from my childhood to that fucking movie that it will.
I don't even give a fuck
for me.
I enjoy the sequel too.
Been trying not to buy beer glasses, but if that ever gets put on one, I'm fucking buying it.
Same.
I'm gonna have to do that. What else did I have? Did you Coop and Sonic? Did you see that shit? The news that
I saw it. I didn't read the full press release. What's up with that?
Fucking apparently, and I guess it was leaked before they probably wanted it released or whatever, but Sonic is partnering with Coop for like apparently nationwide distribution of hard seltzers. They're going to be the cherry limeade, and I don't know Sonic drinks ocean water or something like that is the other one.
Okay.
5% ABV seltzers are what the cans look like. And the guy said it's supposed to triple their fucking production or whatever.
That's amazing for them. And I enjoy the Will and Wiley hard seltzer. So
that's the one that really got me. I'm like, man, seltzers can be fucking good. This is something you talked about the variety pack or whatever. So I went and bought one. I'm like, God damn, this is good. One of the best flavors is the cherry limeade. So I'm curious what the difference is going to be there. Because if I don't know, it's going to be good. Sonic made the right fucking choice, and it's cool to see Sonic pick an Oklahoma brewery instead of AB InBev or something like that, because you'd think the logistics of it would be easier to go with Bud Light or AB InBev or something. So I don't know.
Sonic's an Oklahoma company, aren't they?
I know they're local here, so I don't know if it was Oklahoma or if it was I knew they're around
Oklahoma. I think it's Oklahoma City. It might be.
So that's awesome.
But
super cool that they went with Coop for that. That'll definitely help with that fucking, maybe help speed up that timeline on that amazing fucking beer land they're fucking creating there at the old armory.
AKA the Palace F5 built.
Oh my God. Well, maybe fucking, and these fucking seltzers. Fucking Sonic seltzers. I'm weird to say that, but I'm excited to try it. I'm excited about it just in general. I think it's awesome. It was cool. That news break, because it's going to be really, really, really good for them. It has to be. It's got to be all over the place.
I'm pretty sure they're Oklahoma City based. I'm sitting here thinking about it.
They are Oklahoma. Yeah, no, you say that. I know they're Oklahoma for sure, so that would make sense. But
speaking of kind of wider distribution and whatnot, I assume you've seen that the Black is Beautiful beer has been regionally distributed to it's like 300 Walmarts, which in the grand scheme of Walmart isn't that many. But Core Brewing, not Core 4, but Core Brewing out of Arkansas, their version of Black is Beautiful has made it to some of our local area Walmarts. I know the one in Broken Arrow at 121st and Elm had a big end cap of it. Our friends Joe and Nikki were kind enough to pick me up a 6-pack because they live out that way. So that's something to be on the lookout for.
I was just over there because I saw you post that and I'm like, well, fuck, because I've been, I would say lazy, but I've been having shit delivered the past couple of weeks. Even more so I haven't gone shopping anywhere.
Well,
fuck it, I'm gonna go that Catoosa Walmart. I shouldn't have even went because they didn't have it, because of course the Catoosa Walmart went in.
The one out here doesn't have it either.
But it's still cool that's happening. I saw that they were partnering with like Weathered Souls and like 8 different breweries to get like nationwide shit, so that's awesome. First I'm like, what the fuck, Core, why? And then it's like, well, Arkansas.
I was finding myself frustrated with the fact that those beers were everywhere for a few months, and then everyone just kind of forgets and it all disappears. And I'm not going to sit here and name names, but I know of a few breweries that announced they were doing it and never did.
Yeah.
And that shit annoys me. So it was just nice to see it pop back up in the spotlight.
I speaking of that, I saw some group I'm in because they said that the Black is Beautiful is in 50 states, and this guy was like, "I live in South Dakota, and I don't know of one fucking brewery that does that." And they looked, and apparently they can't find one in South Dakota that did. And they even said, if Arkansas and Alabama can at least make one, then fucking South Dakota should be able to too.
Right. Well, in Arkansas, I had like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I don't know about Alabama.
So that'll do it for this week. Jeremy, close this motherfucker down.
That's going to do it for another episode of Pub Talk. Make sure to go to our website, pubtalkpodcast.com. Check out our back catalog, all of our spotlight episodes. Follow us on social media at Pub Talk Podcast, and make sure you hit the subscribe button on your favorite podcast app or YouTube so you never miss an episode. And until next time, never forget that there's nothing in life too big or hard you can't handle it over a few beers with your good friends. Until next time, chill till the next episode. Cheersies.